Detective Clara Hayes stood in the dimly lit museum storage room. The air smelled of dust and old paper. A single glass case stood empty. Its shattered remains glittered on the floor. The artifact, a centuries-old dagger rumored to hold a deadly secret, was gone. Clara crouched, examining the shards. No fingerprints. No signs of forced entry. Whoever took the dagger knew what they were doing. She pulled out her phone. "Dr. Grant? I need you at the museum. Now." Dr. Elias Grant arrived within minutes. His tweed jacket was rumpled, his glasses perched precariously on his nose. He was the museum's resident historian and the only person who knew the dagger's full history. "Tell me everything," Clara said. Elias adjusted his glasses. "The dagger belonged to a 16th century alchemist. Legend says it's the key to a formula, something dangerous. If it falls into the wrong hands." Clara cut him off. "Who would want it?" Elias hesitated. "There's a collector. Marcus Vale. He's been after it for years." Marcus Vale. Clara knew the name. A former thief turned informant. He had a knack for finding rare artifacts, and selling them to the highest bidder. She found him in a dingy apartment above a pawnshop. The room was cluttered with stolen treasures. Marcus lounged on a worn-out couch, a cigarette dangling from his lips. "I didn't take it," he said before she could speak. Clara crossed her arms. "Then who did?" Marcus smirked. "Someone smarter than you. They're not after the dagger for its history. They want the formula." Clara's stomach tightened. "What formula?" Marcus leaned forward. "The alchemist's last experiment. A weapon. One drop could wipe out a city." Clara's mind raced. If the dagger was the key, the thief would need Elias to decode it. She turned to leave. "Wait," Marcus called. "I can help. For a price." Clara didn't look back. "Stay out of my way." Back at the museum, Elias was pacing. "We need to find the dagger before they do." Clara nodded. "Where would they take it?" Elias thought for a moment. "The alchemist's lab. It's underground. Beneath the old church on 5th Street." They moved quickly. The church was abandoned, its doors hanging off their hinges. Inside, a hidden staircase led to the lab. The air was damp, the walls lined with ancient tools. In the center of the room stood a man in a black coat. He held the dagger, its blade glinting in the dim light. Clara stepped forward. "Put it down." The man turned. His face was obscured by a mask. "Too late, detective. The formula is mine." Elias stepped forward. "You don't understand what you're dealing with. That formula could destroy everything." The man laughed. "Exactly." Clara lunged. The man dodged, slashing the dagger through the air. Elias grabbed a rusted metal rod from the wall and swung. The rod connected with the man's arm. The dagger clattered to the ground. Clara scooped it up. The man cursed, stumbling back. He fled into the shadows, disappearing into the labyrinth of tunnels beneath the church. Elias exhaled. "We need to destroy it. The dagger, the formula, all of it." Clara nodded. She handed him the dagger. "Do it." Elias placed the dagger on a stone table. He struck it with the rod, shattering the blade. A faint hiss escaped as the metal crumbled to dust. Clara watched, her heart still racing. "It's over." Elias shook his head. "Not yet. The man who took it, he's still out there." Clara tightened her grip on her badge. "Then we find him." The two left the lab, the weight of the dagger's secret heavy on their shoulders. The artifact was gone, but the danger remained. And Clara knew one thing for certain: this was just the beginning. The story ends with the immediate threat resolved, but the larger conflict lingering. The characters are left to face the consequences of their actions, setting the stage for future challenges.